Judgments can be considered good or bad. An idea of a good versus bad judgment would be, is this food good and healthy, or is this food bad and unhealthy? As a dietitian, I try to steer clear of good and bad when it comes to the nutrient density or healthiness of a food, especially when we're making those choices ourselves and we're not certain about what we need to choose. When we label them good and bad, it tends to make people think that if they eat certain foods that are not highly nutritious, that they themselves are bad. It becomes a moral issue, and food is not moral. It's important to understand that some things can be better for us than others, but that doesn't make them 100% good. And things that are less advantageous to our health and well-being aren't 100% bad. We use good and bad as a teaching tool for children because it's simple. Unfortunately, some people get a little bit dogmatic and moral about their good versus bad. That transfers to the child. This is something that we continue to do and experience throughout our life. At some points in our lives, our judgments of ourselves and others puts a wedge between our ability to learn and our ability to connect, especially when these judgments are placed on our capacity, our timing, and whether or not we are good enough. The more we place these judgments on ourselves, we judge others. This puts a strain on our relationships and creates conflict. It can damage our connections with people we care for. Very few of us like people who are judgmental of us. It's negative reinforcement, and that only works until it doesn't. Judging others might get them to change temporarily, but more often than not, it leads people to avoid or retaliate against those who judge them badly. Judgments can also negatively affect our emotions. When we add evaluation of good or bad to people or things around us, it can have a strong effect on our emotional responses to the person or the thing that we are judging. It is often difficult to recognize that we have created the judgments, which have then created the very events that can dysregulate our emotions. We tend to place good, bad judgments regarding an action, event, or behavior, but perceive and share these judgments as if they are about the character of the person or the event itself. A person is not good or bad because they do something that doesn't work. They are just a person learning, and consequences are there for their actions. When we make a person good or bad in our judgments, we shame them. This separates them, and we do this to ourselves as well. This use of judgment is separating us from our reality. It's not based in facts, but rather opinions. Discrimination can easily become judgmental as well. Discriminations can turn into judgments when we exaggerate differences between two things. In these instances, we describe what we believe to be factual rather than what we observe to be factual. When we discriminate against people, we are judging based on whether or not we think their behaviors, their beliefs, or anything about them is good or bad. Again, these judgments are based on opinion. They are in the mind of the observer. They are not qualities of what the observer is judging.